India correspondent Akshay Dongre joins us live from Raisina Dialogue. Akshay, what is the direction in which the deliberations are headed at the dialogue? We're hearing about Global South and its concerns.
Well, Global South remains the central theme to the deliberation and discussion that are taking place right now because, any of the major conflicts that are taking place in the world, be it the Russia-Ukraine conflict that is not taking place though in the Global South, but it is having a lot of ramification. It is leading to a lot of ramification for the Global South, especially when you talk about the African continent, which, depends on a lot of countries and a lot of supply chains for the delivery of food grains and other essential things that are required by people on day-to-day basis. If you look at South Asia, there are conflicts, minor conflicts taking place everywhere. There is a conflict taking place between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Then there is the major conflict now that has erupted between Israel, US, and the Iranian regime. So it's quite unfortunate to see the kind of ramifications that these conflicts have, the supply chain problems have, all of the major problems that are there in the geopolitical realities of today have the biggest impact on the Global South, and that perhaps is the reason why it has become a central theme. It has become a key concern not just for the countries of the Global South, but also for major democratic countries who are now voicing their opinion that more should be done as far as bringing a sort of building sort of a bridging gap between the civilizations, the people who live in the developing world, and the things that are required by them. So it is a major point of deliberation discussion. In fact, to the point of even United Nations Security Council being discussed, and the representation that even Global South should have as far as these important multilateral forums are concerned.
And is the Raisina Dialogue also reflecting on the current crisis in West Asia, given that it is in many ways a symptom of what is ailing present-day geopolitics?
Well, it is. It is. In fact, yesterday we had an Israeli delegation here at the Raisina Dialogue. In the evening, we had a minister from Israel talking about, their side of the story, their concerns, their reason to, initiate this conflict with the preemptive strikes that Israel and the US conducted on Iran, about the killing of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So they gave their justification, behind this conflict, behind starting this conflict using preemptive strikes. And today we also had the Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran here speaking about rather accusing Iran and Israel of tearing apart the UN Charter, of tearing apart international laws, of carrying out preemptive strikes without any kind of justifiable reason to begin the strikes and start a war that are having major ramifications for the region and to an extent to the global economy. And this is the short term we are talking about. In long term, the entire global economy is going to get engulfed in this conflict that is senseless, according to the Iranian government. That was not required. So the current geopolitical issues are being discussed. It's not just the Middle East crisis, but also the Russia-Ukraine war at length is being discussed as far as the leaders here from the European countries, the leaders here from Russian side, everyone are talking about their side of the story. So it can become an excellent platform where people can actually come together from these countries. India being one place which doesn't have any conflict with any of these major warring factions, warring sides, and all of these can come here as a neutral territory and discuss and deliberate and find solution to these problems on the dialogue table rather than on the on the field of war.
Akshay, thank you for joining us with those updates.